Hello. Just to end off and to share a little bit about my professional growth and how Azrieli has helped me to be able to teach effectively and with confidence. I just want to start off that I feel that there's been an accumulation, a lot of different factors that have come together, woven like a tapestry, different elements, and I feel that it allowed me to grow through my experience the past several years. I extended my time beyond just 2 years, the standard time. I stretched it out to 3 years just so I could be able to inculcate and be able to apply and be able to sit on and be able to develop it further and deeper the lessons and ideas and be able to truly feel it and strongly apply it in a better experience throughout these past several years. It's been an amazing journey. And this final year, in my third year, um, in the internship that I've been involved in, albeit granted that it was a lot of observing, but at the same time there was a lot of being able to respond and reply and be able to test and be able to inquire and experiment in a classroom setting, even as an assistant or being able to even lead the class on several occasions. So that was quite an amazing opportunity and opportunities. And I feel that I've really leaned more towards recognizing beyond just the classroom and the content that you want, that you envision as an educator to have the students walk away with, hopefully, or that you give over. But I feel that I've been able to transition and be able to progress, and I've seen progress in the fact that I now have a more clarified um, direction and destination and where I see myself and what I want to see in my students. And that is in the area of overall, what are we trying to accomplish? And beyond just the techniques and whatever it is, and after all said and done, when the dust settles, to be able to allow students to be able to walk from the school back home and come back to school with that feeling of enthusiasm, to be happy over, have happiness and sense of security and safety and in Judaism and their own lives and their own personal beings, who they are, their identity, personal identity, accepting their struggles and recognizing their strengths. These are all different things that I feel that are so important. And for an educator, just ending off my internship just now, the other day, for it was a great timing for Teacher Appreciation Week, and that was the week I ended my internship. I had that a little bit of an inside scoop, an opportunity to see the fruits of my labor to some degree whenever I was helping out in the classroom. And one of the students who was given the task or went out of his way to write a thank you letter described a very big amount of the influence that I had in the classroom with interactions with him, was the idea of being understanding and trying to be able to be caring and positive and energetic and being able to be listening and understand and try to work with the students. That is something that the students, they really appreciate, and even if it's on one occasion or two occasions, it can mean a lot. So imagine if it's for a long time, and you could have a tremendous impact over the years and over the trajectory of a student whenever they're developing and maturing and getting older. So I feel that that's a tremendous thing to be able to realize, almost like a farmer. To, if I would sum it up, my professional growth as an analogy or figuratively or with some type of mashal or example, it would be like a farmer, or it would be like a someone who's recognizing, like Rabbi Akiva, in these times right now, thinking about the students of Rabbi Akiva and during Sfira, during the Omer, until Lag BaOmer. And Rabbi Akiva, a big lesson is the idea of the rock with the small droplets. And like a farmer, you're slowly seeding, and it's not just the automatic instant gratification, automatic results. So that's a basic idea, but it's so fundamental when you live in, day out, early mornings, late days, and a lot of sweating and a lot of um, conversations, a lot of thoughts, and a lot of trying to balance everything in your life. So professionally, I feel that I grew in terms of being able to develop this resilience and see a bigger picture of what I'm trying to achieve and recognize a very large picture of where the students are and what they're going to come out with and how amazing it's going to be. The impacts and positivity that's going to be bred and developed and nurtured as a result of the input that we put in and that I put in. I feel that I'm able to do it with much more of a clearer picture of what are we trying to accomplish. Walking and standing by the door, opening up the classroom, and giving the students an opening good morning and addressing them by their specific names, and relating to how was something that happened to them the past night, how was the art show or whatever event or activity that they're involved in, or how their grandmother is feeling, or whatever it is, to be able to not just be relatable, but to also be recognize the big picture of what we're trying to accomplish, and that is beyond just the lessons itself that we were trying to impart, but to be able to live as that role model. So that was a tremendous thing to be able to have an academic strength and growth and collection of and clarity and be all set up and have the whole layout set up, but to also be able to continuously live as that role model and teach those lessons and live it so that the students will be able to have someone to follow after. So that was a tremendous thing that I feel that I really was able to develop. And specifically, a few ways that has really helped so I could be able to teach effectively and with confidence was the just think about the layout, the setup of the lessons that we learned throughout Azrieli were chopped up into three types of courses. And the first one was the models, and there's different ideas and virtues that an educator needs to ingrain within themselves and be able to put input into the classroom. And that was very much seen throughout the models types of courses, and recognizing different policies and the position of an educator, and the stance and the confidence that you have to have, and recognition of what your goals are. So these are tremendous things that allowed me to get a bigger picture, and not just just walk in expecting the kids to learn. They have to recognize that everyone has their struggles, and that you have to come in with your positivity and a lot of these types of values, and how to run the classroom, and with different elements within how a classroom functions. And you see it firsthand when you go through the internship. So that was tremendous. That really allowed me to be able to reach through the internship and the different types of recognizing of the different types of models of how the teaching is supposed to take place, especially on a research study based position, and different positions that were taken, and seeing it in the classroom in real life, and providing the safety that students need, and comfort, and a place for them to be able to grow and to be able to connect with themselves, with their friends, and with the teachers, and hopefully with Hashem ultimately. So that was a tremendous type of set of courses that I've gotten from Azrieli. Secondly, the courses in psychology were not just nice, highfalutin ideas, but they were something that gave me allow me to have aspirations for how I'm going to conduct my classes and have my students be able to grow. And the teachers were just phenomenal, and being able to allow me to be able to approach how to teach the lessons, and to break it down to understand where the students' struggles are coming from were just phenomenal, and what emotions are holding them back from being able to perform as to their max. And lastly, besides from the models and the psychology of the way that the chinuch is supposed to be undergoing, but also lastly the most importantly the content. Thankfully I was able to be provided my requests a couple of times that I needed it to be able to venture on not just the paths that I felt were paths that I feel like I might be more comfortable with, like teaching Navi or Machshava or whatever it is, or Pirkei Avot. I felt that I needed to tackle how to teach Gemara, how to teach Halacha, and these were specific areas, content that I was granted the opportunity from Azrieli to be able to delve into, to have direction, and be able to even investigate on my own, and consider and have that time and space to learn. How do you teach Chumash? How do you teach Gemara? How do you teach Halacha? These are fundamentals, the meat and potatoes that students are going to have from school for the rest of their lives, and it's going to be impacting their neshamot, their olam haba, their families, practically how to conduct themselves on a day-to-day basis in their intellectual pursuits and drive and connection to Hashem, and the lessons that they're going to have that are going to influence the way that they interact with everyone in the world. And that is something that I really, really appreciate Azrieli gave me, and I hope to bring it out with confidence in my classroom, and that my students should be able to take those lessons and bring it to lead them for the rest of their lives. Thank you.